NFL Draft Nerds, welcome in. We have got Daniel Jeremiah's 2025 NFL Mock Draft 2.0. Headline: Steelers, Chargers, Vikings pick running backs in round one. That sounds fascinating. Let's dive into it. Have not looked over this yet, so fresh for me as it is for y'all. Daniel Jeremiah, the way he does his mock drafts, it's predictive. It's what he's hearing from around the league, and he, working for the NFL, is incredibly plugged in. Abdul Carter, the Titans at 1. We've talked about this one a lot. I think if the Titans stick and pick at 1, this is the direction they should go, simply because having Abdul Carter on the same line as Jeffrey Simmons and T'Vondre Sweat and the rest of those dudes you got, that would be amazing. Mainly the Abdul Carter and Jeffrey Simmons just creating a monstrous defensive front. Got to give credit to T'Vondre Sweat as well. Credit where it's due. But, I have Abdul Carter and Travis Hunter in a tier at the top by themselves. And I think Abdul Carter getting the edge player, it makes a lot of sense, right? Pairing him up with Jeffrey Simmons. So I like that. The Browns taking Cam Ward. It's tough for me to see this one, honestly. Cam Ward has a ton of talent. He does. His ability to throw off platform, odd arm angles, his ability to make plays. He has a sixth sense in the pocket with his pocket presence, awareness, escapability. But he's a turnover-prone football player. He does not have elite arm strength. He does not have elite arm accuracy. He does not have elite size. These are question marks I have about Cam Ward's projection to the next level. New York Giants taking Travis Hunter at 3. Good for them, right? Travis Hunter is, like I said, at the top of this draft with Abdul Carter for me. It'd be interesting to see them pass on quarterback. I think when you look at this regime with Shane and Daboll, how do they move forward? How do they survive this year? It's probably by getting a veteran quarterback and putting together the best team around that veteran quarterback that they can and pushing for a playoff spot. Easier said than done, but Travis Hunter's a good step in the right direction, whether you're playing him at corner, wide receiver, or both, in my opinion. Will Campbell to the Patriots. I've seen this one, I've thought about this one. Will Campbell feels like a Patriot to me. He is not the best player on the board, in my opinion, but he is a darn good player. I don't think that anyone will regret taking, whether he's playing tackle or guard. I think he has much higher upside at guard, but I still have a first-round grade on him as a tackle. Later first, but it is what it is. Jaguars taking Mason Graham at 5 overall. We've been talking about this one a ton over on my other channel, Gen Jag, where we cover the Jacksonville Jaguars on Duval Daily every single day. So if you're looking for more Jaguars coverage, go check that out. Shameless plug. Mason Graham with the Jaguars, he shores up a defensive front. He creates top-end talent on the interior to go with Trayvon Walker and Josh Hines-Allen, and also bumps Eric Armstead, bumps Mason Smith, bumps Devon Hamilton, Jordan Jefferson, down the depth chart, creating a great amount of depth on the interior for you and giving a true stalwart to pair up, again, with Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon Walker. I love the fit. Las Vegas Raiders taking Shedeur Sanders. This one, we've talked about it a ton. Sanders does not have high-end arm strength. He does not have high-end athleticism. He does not have, prototypical size at the position. He has a lot of the other traits you're looking for. I think he can be very accurate. I think that he can be a good decision maker. I think he can manage and maneuver in the pocket. He needs to stop drifting as much as he does. He needs to stop kind of fading away as much as he does. But if you're the Raiders and you're desperate for a quarterback, I get it. Not the direction I would go. Tyler Warren to the Jets. Love this fit. They learned from not taking Brock Bowers last year. They get Tyler Warren this year. Not the same player, not the same type of player, but can have a similar production profile based on the fact that you can line him up anywhere and feed him the football. Literally anywhere. Love Tyler Warren. Jalen Walker coming off the board as edge 2 to the Panthers at 8. Again, this is predictive. This is what Daniel Jeremiah thinks is going to happen. That means he thinks Jalen Walker is a lot higher in league circles than I personally value him. And based on what we've seen from other plugged in draft analysts from around the web, Dane Brugler, etc., Jalen Walker is going to go a lot higher than I think he should. I love his motor on the football field. I love some of the athletic juice that you see. I don't think you have any semblance of a refined pass rusher or run defender from the edge spot. I don't think you have a true 3-down linebacker either. Jalen Walker at 8, it's just tough for me. You have to have a very specific plan for Jalen Walker. I think that's a reach. I really do, and I like the player a lot. New Orleans Saints taking Mike Green, edge out of Marshall. The interesting thing about this one is the Saints usually are going after big, physical, edge guys are 280, 290 pounds, explosive off the ball, long arms, strong, set the edge, and the pass rush value is a bonus. Mike Green does not really fit into their MO. So that would be surprising. I also think it's rich. I don't think that he should be valued in the top 10 of this class. I don't see him as a 3-down player right now as a run defender, quite frankly. I like his competitiveness. I like his pass rush skill set, but that's rich for me. Kelvin Banks to the Bears here. That's rich for me as well. I'm a little lower on Kelvin Banks. I worry about his balance. I worry about him playing out over his toes and falling off blocks and falling to the ground, losing balance. That's a tough foil for me to get past, a tough situation for me to get past. The 49ers landing Will Johnson at 11. That's something I have not seen a lot of. I do like it. I think Will Johnson has no business falling outside of the top 10. But again, this is another thing you're consistently seeing is these plugged-in draft analysts talking about Will Johnson falling. Maybe it's going to happen. But I think that's a good fit for the 49ers. Walter Nolan to the Cowboys, I think that's another great fit. If Osa Odighizuwa does depart in free agency and they have a void in terms of getting that interior penetrator, Walter Nolan fits that bill to a T. Tyler Booker to the Dolphins, that's a lot of fun. They need to upgrade that interior of the offensive line after the departures they had a year ago. Tyler Booker makes a lot of sense. Armand Membu to the Indianapolis Colts. I have not seen this one before, I don't think. I like it, though. They have Will Fries, who is set to be a free agent. He's also coming off of an injury at right guard. You have Armand Membu can plug in at right guard or right tackle for you long term. Either way, I think you're getting a really good football player. This is an appropriate range for him. Michael Williams to the Falcons at 15. Yeah, I like this one too. And you look at Williams, he has a lot of development to do as a pass rusher, but you can get him on the field immediately as a run defender. His strength, his length, explosiveness, he sets the edge extremely well. I think that you keep developing him, and he could have a trajectory similar to Trayvon Walker. They're not the same player. They both do come from Georgia. They both do have unbelievable length and athleticism. Not the same exact type of player, but what they can do for you right now as rookies coming in, it is similar. Kenneth Grant to the Cardinals at 16. Love that for them. Kenneth Grant's a stud. At 340 pounds, he has no business moving as well as he does, but he's also incredibly stout against the run, flexible. I like Kenneth Grant's game a lot. This is an appropriate range for him. Jahdae Barron coming off the board at 17 is a little rich for me. I think you've seen some cornerback injuries drive some guys down the board. I would not take Jahdae Barron over Savon Ravel. There's no way I could do it. You just have totally different level of talent physically, in my opinion. But I do think Jahdae Barron's a smart football player, heady football player that can make a defense a lot better and have some versatility back there. 18, Seattle Seahawks, Gray Zabel. This is the highest I've seen Gray Zabel come off the board, but I absolutely love it. Pairing up Gray Zabel with Christian Haynes, who I think can have take a big step in year 2 as your guards. Zabel is awesome, and he can play center, he can play guard. He can also kick out and play tackle in a pinch if you need him to. But I think you project him on the interior, and he dominated the Senior Bowl. He dominated most of his career at North Dakota State playing tackle, played some guard as well. I think as an interior player, his base, his hands, and his flexibility, not to play all the positions, but his flexibility within his frame is really good on the interior. Love that pick for them. 19, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Tetairoa McMillan. This is quite the fall for T-Mac. A lot of folks kind of expect him to be in the 5 to 10 range in this draft. And so him falling all the way to 19, really interesting, especially with Luther Burden not coming off the board either to this point. So you're looking at, wow, I mean, is this wide receiver 1 coming off the board at 19? Pretty incredible. But T-Mac going to play with Mike Evans, learning from Mike Evans, I think that's a perfect landing spot for him. I think that would be fireworks for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense. And yeah, we don't know how Chris Godwin, how that situation is going to play out. Colston Loveland to the Broncos is very chalky. We've talked about that one a lot. Great fit. His athletic profile, catch radius, route running chops, fluidity. Colston Loveland makes a ton of sense for Sean Payton and Bo Nix. Ashton Jeanty to the Steelers is, Ashton Jeanty has no business falling to 21, but you keep seeing these plugged in NFL draft analysts having him fall to the 20s. I can't see it. I don't think he should get past the Bears at 10. I don't. We've talked about that a lot. Congratulations, Pittsburgh Steelers. You just got yourselves your RB1 who can carry that offense. 22, Los Angeles Chargers, Omarion Hampton. I think that's a really fun fit because, you have Jim Harbaugh, Smash Mouth football. Obviously, their OC, he does a tremendous job in the run game. And I think he would be able to get the most out of Omarion Hampton. He's a downhill dynamo and incredibly explosive at like 230 pounds. He's a tough runner. I think that this makes a lot of sense. Josh Simmons to the Packers, that would be a steal for them. Unbelievable steal. Obviously coming off the knee injury, but you talk about a guy who you're not talking about how good is he for you in September and October of his rookie year. You're talking about a long-term projection, and the Green Bay Packers get themselves a steal with the highest ranked offensive tackle on my board, the most prototypical offensive tackle in this class. TreVeyon Henderson to the Minnesota Vikings at 24. Love this fit. I have TreVeyon Henderson valued right around here in the 20s. He has excellent vision, patience, burst. He is explosive. He's quick in and out of cuts. He is low to the ground. Has some pretty good contact balance, even though he's not the biggest back. He can hit the home runs. He is a great pass catcher. He is a great pass protector. This is a great fit for the Minnesota Vikings. Houston Texans going receiver, taking Emeka Egbuka. I think it's a good value at this point. You obviously talk about the Texans needing to upgrade their interior offensive line, both from a coaching and personnel standpoint. They don't do that here. They pass on that for Emeka Egbuka. I can't blame them for taking a guy with his level of talent and I think NFL readiness. Nico Collins, Emeka Egbuka, CJ Stroud will be a big fan of that. But you got to figure out that offensive line too. Darius Alexander at 26. Pound the table for this one. That's what I'd be doing, right? Darius Alexander with Braden Fisk, with Jared Verse, the rest of those guys that they've added up front, Kobe Turner. The Rams just keep winning when it comes to adding young talent to that defensive front. Byron Young. This is just chef's kiss. If the Rams are able to do this, they could quickly have maybe a Eagles level defensive front. And I do not say that lightly. That's incredible. Shamar Stewart to the Ravens. That does feels like a Ravens pick if he's available on the board. It just doesn't feel like he's going to fall this far, but you talk about it, it's possible. It is possible. Shamar Stewart to the Ravens. Now, I'll say this. Luther Burden is still on the board. I don't think all these teams are passing on Luther Burden. And I'll tell you what, I do not think the Texans should take Emeka Egbuka over Luther Burden. I forgot he was there. So that's something to keep in mind. Luther Burden is a really rare physical talent who I think was just underutilized and underdeveloped at Missouri. I think he's going to be a stud at the NFL level. Donovan Jackson to the Detroit Lions. I can see this one. They need to upgrade their interior long-term, no question about it. Donovan Jackson, he's tough. He showed grit by being able to kick out to play offensive tackle and doing it at a high level down the stretch during the 2024 season. So I think that the Lions could definitely be big fans of Donovan Jackson there. That one tracks for me. Jihad Campbell to the Washington Commanders. I think that Dan Quinn could get the most out of Jihad Campbell's skill set. He has great length, great range. Strong hands, strong tackler as well, has versatility. I think that Dan Quinn would be able to get the most out of what he can bring to the football field, which is a rare physical profile at the linebacker position coming out of Alabama. 30, Buffalo Bills getting Matthew Golden. Yeah, I can see this one. I think that he's the type of guy that with Josh Allen, you need someone to throw the football to. You can rely on Matthew Golden to get open. If he's not open, he can go up and make a play on the football. And Matthew Golden, a really good separator, really good at adjusting to the ball down the field. I think it's a really nice fit for them. So now they have, Keon Coleman, the big body guy. They have Khalil Shakur. They have Matthew Golden. They have Your two tight ends that you feel good about, Dalton Kincaid, Dawson Knox. Kansas City Chiefs, Josh Connerly Jr. This is what I mocked to them earlier this week. Look, if they're sitting here in this spot and Josh Simmons and these guys are gone, Josh Connerly is the second most prototypical tackle profile in this class. At left tackle, you want him to be able to protect Patrick Mahomes. I think going to Kansas City is a good place to be developed. He has all the physical traits to be a really good left tackle in the league. Needs a little development, needs to continue to add strength, but that would be a really good fit for the Chiefs, in my opinion. Philadelphia Eagles taking Malachi Starks, safety out of Georgia. That means Luther Burden falls out of the first round. I know there's some other guys that would be surprising to me as well, but Malachi Starks falling to 32 is ridiculous. This is a top 10 prospect on my board. And another one where you're consistently seeing these guys that are plugged in around the league, as I mentioned, consistently seeing Malachi Starks fall. And yes, Howie Roseman, I absolutely believe, would capitalize on this market inefficiency, would capitalize on this mistake by the rest of the league. And you say, how do they keep doing this? Well, the rest of the league keeps screwing up, and Howie Roseman is there to clean up the mess and continue to push the Philadelphia Eagles forward. Congratulations, Eagles fans. You have probably the best secondary in football, to go with the best defensive line. Yeah, good for you. So that'll do it here. Daniel Jeremiah's mock draft 2.0. A lot of surprising picks here. A lot of guys falling down the board that I don't really think deserve to be falling down the board, quite frankly. But this is predictive. This is ears to the ground. And Daniel Jeremiah does as good a job as anyone with this stuff. So really appreciate y'all tuning in. If you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe. Y'all have a good one.